Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO. Glad to be back in Destin, let me tell you that. Left out of here last Sunday after Thanksgiving. I took off, had to go to Salt Lake City to deal with some great people up there. I have clients, as you guys know, all over the place, but we've got a couple, three clients in Salt Lake City. Phenomenal time. Got up there on Sunday, it was 50 degrees. Left there yesterday morning, 18 degrees, 7 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. It was crazy. I got done with my clients on Tuesday, decided, man, I better check out of the hotel based on traffic. Go ahead and get another hotel closer to the airport. Now, it usually takes me about an hour. I anticipated a slow, and it took me 4 hours to get from my hotel to the airport hotel. Wrecks, slow traffic, it was nuts. But anyway, I'm glad to be home. Finally got a hold of Brian Underwood this afternoon. Well, really this evening. We played phone tag all day long. Had a great time, great conversation. And, I know this is just what you guys want to hear, right? I actually like Brian Underwood. We've become friends. We get in conversations. It very seldom does it have to do really with a specific business like RippLn or Isaac or anything like that. We talk about strategies, philosophies. We talk about our family. We talk about the vision we have, for what we want to leave our children, stuff like that. And it's not to give Brian a pass on anything. It's just I believe in building the relationship with people. And can that bite you in the butt? Well, heck, I learned that with Zeke Rewards, didn't I? But there's a time when you take the risk when you build relationships, and that's what I've done here. As you guys know, I work for some of the investors in RippLn and have had a phenomenal time getting to know them and getting to know the people like Jonathan Budd, like Russell Brunson and Michael Rutherford and Brian Underwood, people like that. Lisa, and all the crew that you've seen on the videos. I've gotten to know them very well and learn who they were as people. Do they always agree with me? No. Do I always agree with them? No. But we've built a relationship to where when I call and ask questions, I get straight up answers. And I can usually validate the answers either prior to or after something happens and they line up. I wish more critics would do that. I don't even care if you guys put on a paper bag, disguise your voice. I wish you'd make phone calls, do Google Hangouts, and really talk to these guys. Ask them the hard questions, but let them ask you the hard questions. I'd arrange it. Think about that. One of the things that we've been hearing from critics and even insiders to a certain degree is where's RippLn been? It's been silent. I said, Brian, you've been silent. What's happened? He goes, dude, what are you talking about? He goes, it's Thanksgiving. He goes, some of us left town and went to Thanksgiving prior to, some afterwards. He goes, we're still conducting business. He goes, matter of fact, he goes, we do 2 calls a week. He goes, that isn't being silent. He goes, no, we haven't done blog posts and stuff. And then he got a little snippy. He said, dude, I can't win for losing with you or these other critics. He goes, if I make too much noise, you guys tell me I'm hyping the stuff. If I don't make any noise because we're working, then we're running or we're having a eulogy or some crap like that. He goes, we've been working behind the scenes like crazy, holding calls for our team. Don't worry about you guys. Fair enough, man. No problem. I said, I got another question. I said, one of the critics been writing about this $199 app share deal, man. How's that working for you? He goes, there's nobody paying $199, dude. He goes, we grandfathered, not upgraded. We grandfathered 1.4 million people, basically. Now, I don't know if it was that many, but that's how many's in the database. He goes, and he goes, Troy, you know this as well as I do. He goes, compensation plan drives the behavior of the field. He goes, we tell them if you want to actively be involved, to be a player, you got to go find 5 free customers. He goes, you think somebody's going to join for free today and pay $199 tomorrow on app sharing? He goes, I don't even know what that is. You had a good point, on that one. He goes, we do have 7 apps in there. Some of them are US-based. Some of them are country-specific. Some international. He goes, it's working. He goes, we're having hundreds of downloads a week. He goes, money's being paid. And the app share, my words, not his. I would say kind of like a pay-per-click, except this is a paid app download type deal. So when you download, you get paid. It's one of those things when somebody does like a photo guest roof, they buy a lifeline or they want a bunch of other stuff, you get paid. The Candy Crush, I don't know how all that one works, but I know my wife has used it and it's like 99 cents for an extra life and stuff like that. All that kind of flows through the Ripple. That's what a comp plan's supposed to be about. You go out, you find people that like to use the stuff, they do it, you get paid. That's the way it works. Oh no, one of the critics, and this wasn't Brian, I'm going to bring this up. One of the critics had written that the watches that they were selling were on consignment. No, they weren't. Okay. Again, I work with the insiders, so I get to see certain numbers. and they were paid for, bought and paid for. They still have some in inventory because it wasn't a consignment deal. Let's make sure we do get our facts straight. Brian did say this. He said, Troy, look, you want a video? I'm going to put a video out in the next few days. I said, well, okay, the critics will love that too. You know, he goes, no. He goes, this will probably be seen as a Christmas present to our people. Okay. He goes, what's it about? He goes, I'm telling you. Okay, fair enough. So I went and looked at some of the stuff that's on the sites, and I'm pretty sure it's going to have to do with the communication app. You know, and that got me thinking. And I'm not going to keep anybody much longer, but it got me thinking. And I'm talking to the critics as well as everybody else. When Brian and the crew came out and they did their marketing and Russell did what Russell's good at and the video came out and all of a sudden we all started screaming, passive income, passive income. And they hired Kevin Thompson and Kevin came in and tweaked the comp plan. Well, all those people that were there for the passive income, they kind of disengaged. RippLn got their act together. Did we come out and yell loud and proudly they changed their comp plan? Well, I did. But no. Kind of changes the story sometimes that we're trying to write. Oh, well, I can't go out and be proud of them for doing that. Oh, I know what I'll do. Yeah, I told you it was a pyramid scheme and they had to change their comp plan. Wonder what they were thinking. We try to make up stuff in people's mind. We're no different than Fox News and CNN and all the people we gripe and moan about all the time. We got to stop that. Yeah, that isn't right. When they miss a date, we gripe. When they don't communicate, we gripe. You know, if they came out and they hit and executed on one of the dates that they set, you know what, we'd gripe. And I think sometimes we need to step back for a minute and find out what exactly are we trying to do. Are we really, truly trying to protect people like we say we are? Or are we just trying to hear ourselves blow smoke up somebody's butt? Now, I believe most of the critics that I communicate with privately really are on a mission. They're very passionate about what they do. But I think sometimes we can get caught up in our own passion. Matter of fact, some of you guys called me on the carpet during the Zeke Rewards Day and said, Troy, you're getting caught up. Yeah. I was being paid. You guys all know that. But sometimes we can get caught up. See, I still have a mission. My mission's never changed. It's to protect distributors, to give them all the information, to give them a place where they can get balance. I've said from day one, if RippLn can't execute this thing right, there'll be the greatest story never told. And even though they are executing little things at a time, I would love to see them execute bigger. But something that I have realized over the last few months is it's not even RippLn totally. It's those of us on the outside, those on the inside. Now, RippLn created the videos. RippLn did a phenomenal job. Russell Bronson is great at what he does. But the videos really didn't say anything. But it left a vivid imagination for us to decide, what is that compensation plan going to do for me? How big is my ripple? How big is my social graph? Oh my gosh, Susie, sweetie, listen to me. Our social graph, we've got 345 people, and if each of them have 5 friends and such, you know what? We're going to be a millionaire. But yet the comp plan never said that. And then when all we have is $36 in the back office, all of a sudden the balloon is let out. And we are frustrated, and we are mad, and we got all excited, and we have 24,365 people in our downline, and we only made $36 because most of them are free and they're not engaged. And then as critics, we want to yell, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. Well, it must be a freaking pyramid scheme like some stupid counterfeiter that hey, I think I'll counterfeit $1 bills instead of 20s or 100. Okay, you're not going to get a big pyramid scheme thing on $36 now, are you? And some of you saying, well, Troy, that you're trying to split hairs. You're good at that. It's that $30 that they're charging. It's that $95. These guys are getting rich, and nobody's getting rich in the comp plan. Nope, I know the numbers. And I know the hard cost that went into it. I know what the monthly figure is. I know how much the monthly cash outgo is right about now. And I can tell you what, there's not one investor that's gotten their money out, and the company is still putting money in just to cover the costs. That's not a very lucrative pyramid scheme. And when you guys and myself look at Brian Underwood's background, look at Jonathan Budd's background, look at Terry LaCour's background, look at anybody else that's an investor that you don't know about's background, And these guys are smart enough, they've been in business long enough, they made enough money that if they were trying to create a pyramid scheme, they'd have done it different, they'd have done it faster, they'd have made all their money, and they'd have been gone. We'd have been right, the company had been closed, they'd have made a lot of money. They didn't do that. So while we're sitting here holding their feet to the fire, which I think we should do every day to every company, we also need to be thinking this thing through and make sure that we are reporting correctly the facts. Yes, we're going to be subjective. Yes, we're going to put our opinions in there. But if somebody bought and paid for watches, let's not call them a consignment. If we think it's a pyramid scheme because there's $199 and they're going to pay some commission and it looks funky to me, let's find out if anybody's paying the $199. Let's just not explode it. Let's not get totally in a tizzy because somebody in a country doesn't have an app to download when they probably didn't join for the app to download. They joined it for the business and they can market it internationally and build a business. Let's look at all of it as we hit them. Now, G over at Real Scam, there's some questions that you've still asked that I don't have the answers to. As soon as I get them, I will report that to you privately. And then you can take that public if you want to, depending on how the answers are and what you want to do with it. Still working on that one, just so you know. And for everybody else, live life like it's an epic adventure. Stay dangerous, stay strong. And if you're in network marketing, act like it.